Hello and welcome, here's KDRival with another video of my Gaining ELO series. This is the second and it will be about self-reflection. Sorry about that. But what do we understand under self-reflection? Well, it's you spectating your game when you think, how did that guy carry, or how did I not carry, or how did I carry it, or how did I do that laning so well while the matchup was impossible for me. Then you look at your game. But why would you actually do that? Well, it's actually a childhood story of mine that will express why you do this. I was 15 years old and I had this friend, he was 18, and he was a really good Counter-Strike player, but he was getting sick of the game, so I advised him, hey man, go play League of Legends. So he did that, and at the end of Season 2, he was at 1620 ELO. This is pretty good for your first year of playing. I asked him, how do you do this, man? He told me, I play for fun at this time. I will show you next season what I can really do. So he really did that. And he was Diamond 2 at the end of Season 3. I asked him, like, how are you doing this? And he said, after every game that has made me think, I look at it and I evaluate myself, I write everything down. So, well, this has made him a good player. I don't know where he is now. I think he will be still be diamond or something, or a team player, but well, it's an important factor if you want to improve yourself in this game. Let's get to the point. There are a few ways of recording your game. You got standalone programs that save to your computer, like Low Recorder, or you got op.gg. Then you just surf to eoe.op.gg. You type in your name and you press open current game info, and then you press record. Then when your game is finished, you can type in your name, renew data, and look at the record of the game. So when you are looking at your recording, then I always start with looking at the matchup. Like this bottom lane matchup is a Jinx Braum. Jinx is an all-in champ that has poke from her W, which isn't that much, and is not mobile at all. Then you got Braum. He can defend her with his shield, but is mostly an all-in champ, can poke with his Q. So what are their enemies? Well, it's Janna from the sustain point of view and some CC. And you got Corki, which is a poker that can all in. Very mobile as well. So what do Braum and Jinx do then? Well, in their very early stages they should try and play rather defensively and try to hit 6 before them and not get traded too much, because a level 6 will be won from the Jinx Braum point of view rather than the Corki Janna point of view. So that in that way you can analyze of yourself if you had to play defensive or offensive, and if you had done this correctly. If you didn't, then you should take this in account for next games. Next thing, I start looking at my laning. Did I ward enough? Did I take account of the enemy summoners? Did I tell it to them? That's more of a thing that you should realize in-game, that you should tell your jungler, like, the summoners are down, it's easy for you to gank at this point. Well, it's really important, like, to remember cooldowns as well. Like, if you see Flash being burned at minute 5, then you say, hey jungler, Jinx's Flash is back at minute 10. Then I look at ganks and teamfight engages, etc. and engages from in the laning. When I see engages in the laning, I always look at, like, for example, if this Fizz would engage now, then I see, we saw Master Yi recall. So we saw that Master Yi recalled, so he isn't here, so he can engage. Like, oh, but he's already at red buff because he's Master Yi and fast. He could have cancelled the red buff, let Ziggs be a little bait and get kill on Fizz. So these are things you should take in account. I don't say it's perfectly set on this situation because I didn't look at it very well, but it's all the things you gotta take in account for. Like here in this point, we see that dragon isn't warded and it was freely taken. They didn't even take the crab. So these are things when you lose objectives, you just give them out for free. That's not good because objectives are really a winning point in this game. Like Azir is taking 2 turrets at the moment, which is gaining them a lot of gold advantage. This is not good for your team to do. After when I look at all these objects, I go look at team fights, like are they properly engaged? Are people following up on mistakes, etc.? Or are they over chasing after a team fight? Those are things that can really turn your game. So if you know of yourself that you shouldn't follow others' mistakes or you shouldn't over chase, then take a little sticky note, write it up with big exclamation marks and post it on your screen or your desk, whatever, just that you can look at it and think about yourself, no, I shouldn't over chase, I should take an objective, because taking an objective is more worth for your team than taking a kill for yourself. So, um, then there comes an overall factor, it's the item build. Like, could I change something of my item build that's better? Because, you know, an item build shouldn't be static, it should be dynamically chosen at the other team. Like, if you know that they have a really fat mid laner and their bottom lane doesn't really have gotten that much feed, then you should take more magic resist in the start. So these are factors that you should take in account when you start doing that. But how do you know if the game is really worth spectating? And how do you know you don't do it too much? Because you need a little time to adjust to your own notes. Like, I spectate one game every 3 days. I have a note now even before me from my last spectating with all the points summed up on, and every time I go into champ select, loading screen, when I'm dead, I read them all. I quickly read them and I won't make that mistake for the next 5 minutes. And after like 10 games, your brain will remember all the points and you won't make those mistakes that much again. So the point to decide which game you will spectate is just you writing it down after the game, like this game was really interesting, and you give it a point grading system, and then you see which game you spectate. So yeah, just put the notes before you, reread them, and well, I hope this can help you and you will gain ELO. If you like my video, please like and subscribe to me. This will really support me in making more videos. I will bring out one video weekly, and I really hope you have a nice day and gain much ELO in Summoner's Rift. Thank you guys.